A dog over here. All right. All right. Let me make sure that we're live here in the Facebook group.
You need water or anything?
So I do need freaking water, man. Can you warm up some water, like half warm, like half hot? Just heat it up, and then half cold. Perfect. All right. Looks like we're live here in the Facebook group Sales Revolution. So, okay. All right, so we're going live here on the StreamYard platform. I love StreamYard. You can go live on 5 different platforms at the same time. So we're going live inside our Facebook group. Got almost 25,000 of you guys following us around in there. Started that a little bit over a year ago. Going live in the Facebook business page. I think there's about 65,000 of you guys or so over there. Going live on LinkedIn, which started doing stuff there. I think we only have about 10,000 on LinkedIn. That's pretty small. We got to grow that. Going live on YouTube and my own personal Facebook. All right, not going to go live on IG today. They're having some major issues. We don't know what's going on with IG and TikTok. Or we won't go live on IG TikTok. Anyways, got this massive head cold, man. I was in Newport Beach, Frank, the last 2 weeks on a little trip with the fam, and on average it was about 70 degrees a day, and at night it get down to 62, 63. So that's about 2 weeks. I got back late Monday in Arizona. Here, Scottsdale, our corporate offices. It was 116 degrees. So my sinuses have went jerkable crazy last night and today. So I'm on some meds, but I'm like, I've got to do this interview now. Just real quick, because there was a couple of mix-ups today. And Frank, I appreciate you making yourself available. We were going to interview another client of ours named Tori Jackson. Tori Jackson, we might have done a post about him this morning because every Wednesday we interview a new client, different industry, to really break down your guys' sales process that we've taught you to show that NEPQ works for literally every industry on planet Earth, because we train every industry that there actually is, according to Forbes. 158 different industries in the world, subsets of those. We train in all of those at this point. Okay, so we're gonna interview Tori Jackson. I believe what does he sell? I think he's B2C sales. But Tori had an emergency. His niece had to go to the hospital. She's okay. That just happened about 2 hours ago. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? He can't make it, so we'll interview him next week. I'm like, well, maybe I'll do a Q&A. And then you just messaged me, or I saw you post something in the Facebook group. And, usually we get about 5 to 10 new testimonials every single day in that Facebook group, which is really cool. So on average, it's about 50 a week, new ones we get every single week in there. And a lot of them I don't even see because there's so many. But I for some reason, I was on Facebook and I saw yours. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I know that guy's in the Inner Circle group, the Facebook Inner Circle group. And I hit you up. Thank you for making yourself available real quick. So Frank, walk us through, what do you actually sell? I think you're in B2B sales, right?
Yeah, Jeremy, I'm in B2B and I sell outsourcing.
Okay, so outsourcing, to our audience out there who might not know what that means. So you're like a staffing agency, you recruit people to work for companies, right?
Yep.
Some people would call you like a headhunter. Would that be accurate?
Yes, it would. And technically, we're global headhunters because we focus in markets like Latin America, Eastern Europe. There's a lot of specialization and there's a lot of education that we have to do to our customers to educate them on our value.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So now if you're brand new to the Facebook group, or you're watching me the first time on LinkedIn, or maybe the business page or YouTube, my name is Jeremy Mine. I'm the founder and chairman of Seventh Level. Okay. Now we're a global sales training organization, and we train salespeople exactly like you watching me right now. So we train sales professionals like you, like Frank. We train sales executives like you. We train sales management like you, sales leaders. We train coaches, consultants, business owners, entrepreneurs, and we train you and your teams. We help you transform the way you and your team sell by learning specific skilled questions and techniques that actually work with human behavior. What does that mean to you in your mind, Frank? Techniques that work with human behavior rather than against it?
Things are easier. Things are more transparent. It obliterates objections, and people sell themselves. And you're very collaborative with them throughout the entire process.
What all that in companies is, we teach how to disarm the prospect where they want to open up, right? So we call that NEPQ. Now that stands for, if you've never heard of that, that stands for neuro emotional persuasion questioning. Now, we teach you the right tonality to put your prospects at ease, eliminate sales pressure, and get your prospects, like Frank said, to actually lower their guard down. Triggers them to want to engage and want to open up to you rather than trying to get rid of you. That might be something that we should possibly learn if we really want to make a lot of money as a sales professional, really scale our companies, even if we're already doing well. Now, I want each of you to go down to your phone real quick, and I want you to go down to the comments section, and I want you to post, if you're on the live right now, post hashtag live. So go down to your phone right now, post hashtag live. I better see a lot of hashtag lives. I'm not gonna have Frank reveal some of the training we've taught him that's helping him crush it in his industry without seeing a bunch of people start posting hashtag live. So I want you to go post hashtag, Frank's do it. I want you to go post hashtag live if you're on the live. And if you're on the replay, I want you to post hashtag replay. So if you're on the live, go post. Thank you, Crystal, for doing that. So go post hashtag live. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Bill. Isaiah, go post hashtag live. If you're on the replay, go post hashtag replay. Now, for each of you, I want you to go smash the heart button. Thank you, Minja? I can't pronounce names. I'm horrible. Go smash the heart button. I want each of you to smash the heart button, and I want each of you to smash the like button. So smash the heart button, smash the like button. I better see tons of smashed hearts and tons of smashed likes. I'm not going to have Frank reveal some of these training secrets that is causing him to make a butt ton of money and help a lot of his prospects get where they want to go without. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Curtis, for doing that. Without a ton. Thanks, Kim Smith. I appreciate you doing that. Without a ton of smashed hearts, smashed likes. I want to see a ton of those. All right. I'm being the mean guy over here. Catherine, thanks for doing that. All right. Now, Frank, nobody really cares about me. They're just being selfish. They just want to learn from us, right? Okay. So let's give them some juice. Let's give them some juice. All right. Now also, hey, here's the thing. If you guys want to start learning advanced sales skills so you can sell a lot more of your products and services like Frank is, look, if you want to start making 10 grand a month in commissions with what you sell right now, if you want to start making 15, and I'm saying consistently each month, not up and down, I'm talking each month. If you want to start making 10 grand a month in commissions consistently with what you sell, your industry that you're watching me right now, doesn't matter. If you want to start making 15 or 20 grand a month consistently in commissions with what you sell, maybe you're already at 20. You're like, how do I go to 25? How do I make 30 grand a month in commissions? How do I make 40 or 50 grand plus a month in commissions with what you sell? If you want to be like our clients who are in the same industry that every one of you are in watching me right now, who sell exactly what you are right now, that are making 2, 3, 4, 5 times more than you are now, probably we're working a little bit less hours, calling the same amount of leads. It's just their sales ability. If you want to learn those skills, then message me directly right now. Either myself, you can message, if you're on LinkedIn, message me directly. If you're on the Facebook group, Sales Revolution, message me directly. If you're on the Facebook business page, message me directly. If you're on YouTube, you can't message me. You got to post hashtag NEPQ. Now, if you can't figure out what your messenger is, because you're an old guy like me, just go down to the comments and post hashtag NEPQ. Hashtag NEPQ. If you spell it wrong, we won't slap you around. We are nice some of the times. All right. So hashtag NEPQ, either myself or somebody on my team will say, hey, I'm with Jeremy Miner's team, 7th level, and we'll message you more training options and details if you want to learn those skills to be able to make that type of income in your industry with what you sell. Okay. All right, Frank, let's get to you. Everybody wants to hear the man of the hour. Now, hey, thank you for jumping on here short notice. Like I said, Tori Jackson, will interview him next week. He had a family emergency, had to run to the hospital. They're all good though. Okay, so you sell B2B sales, outsourcing, so basically a headhunter. How long have you been doing that for?
I've been doing that for about 7 years now. It'll be 7 years in October.
And now I had you on here for about 10 minutes just to get to know you a little bit more. How long before you got in this industry have you been in sales? I think you've been in sales quite a long time, right?
Yeah, I'm 34 and I've been in sales since I was 18.
One of the young guys. All right. So you're in sales, you transition into outsourcing into B2B. It's a lot different than what you were doing before. I think you said you were selling cell phones. So
yeah,
from B2C to B2B is a big transition for a lot of people. Okay. let's walk us through. You get into B2B sales. Let's start there. What were you taught to do? Like, what were you taught? Like, how did you learn how to sell, especially once you started selling B2B? Because it's a lot different than B2C.
Yeah, it's a lot of bravado because, you know, going from B to C, like people expect some level of customer service and some kind of like connection. But when you go to B2B, people are more direct, and that can be perceived as like mean. So there's a lot of like mind games, or like bravado, posturing, ego games,
Well,
and
you're
mind
doing
games.
a lot more like C-level executives, owners of companies, CFOs, COOs, department heads. You know, you're dealing with more business owners. So a lot of them are going to be more A-type personalities. Not all the time, but sometimes
Yeah.
for sure. So so when you got into B2B, what type of results were you getting before you got into the advanced training here with us? Because you're in our advanced inner circle program. That's like the top of the ball game. I think you've been with us for 2 months, right?
Yeah, I just did my 2 months today. Actually, is my 2 full months.
One of the new guys. All right. So before NEPQ, what did you notice? Like, how were you selling? What were you saying to your prospects?
You know, I was doing a lot of stuff from, you know, a mix of like Cardone, Belfort, you know, Tom Hopkins. There's a
Okay.
guy in the real estate world called Brian Buffini. And so like just a mixture of all that, and
Okay.
really relying on my charisma, my personality to, you know,
So just
leverage
relying
that.
on the charisma, pumping people up. Well, what
Yeah.
type of results did you get from selling that way?
Inconsistent, man. Some days I was Babe Ruth. The other days I was like, Frank who?
Okay. So you hit a home run a few times, you'd get the big whale,
Mm-hmm.
but you were striking out a lot.
Absolutely. It was totally inconsistent. And I would, you know, pray before my sales. You know, I call my mom, can you get grandma and, you know, say some prayers, light the candle, you know, let's pray for some money.
How long did you go through that type of feeling where you have the anxiety, the frustration, you're not really controlling your sales process or predictable income?
I would say about 90% of my career over the last 7 years. There's like maybe 3 or 4 months where I don't know, I was just on a wave, and I was like, you know, top guy 2 or 3 months in a row, but it wouldn't last. It wasn't sustainable.
What does that do to you mentally when you go through that?
Oh, it's crazy. You know, it's like being the guy to just being, you know, going back to struggling.
Okay.
It's tough.
Yeah. Did it have a impact on you?
It did financially because, you know, I'm in commission, and if I'm not able to make payments, you know, some when I'm on a wave, I might make financial decisions that I can't back up when I'm not on a wave.
All right. So 2 months ago, never heard of NEPQ, Jeremy, or maybe you have. Were you in the Facebook group for a while?
I was in the Facebook group, Jeremy. I was in there lurking. I was stealing your nuggets, man. I was in there just creeping on you and
You
seeing
were
how you were doing.
taking some of the free stuff. You know, we give you
Yeah.
some nibbles here and there to kind of use. I think a lot of people like they take the little nibbles and like, I'm going to piece it all together. I'm going to put together the 10,000 piece puzzle with all these different things. And I'm going to try to figure it out. And one day I'll be successful. So,
Mm-hmm.
right, you can sell a little bit more here and there, but if you're just going through 1% of the 1% of the 1% of the 1% of the actual 1%, because what we do in like giving away like little entrepreneurs nuggets, that's literally like 1% of the 1% of the 1% of the 1% that's actually in our virtual training courses and group trainings for our clients. So 60 days ago, after you know going through the freebie stuff, what triggered you to be like, I need to really take this seriously and learn these advanced skills if I'm really going to move forward in my life? What triggered that in your mind? And then let's get into some specifics.
Yeah, Jeremy. So I had this dream client that was on my Dream 100. This was a perfect fit for me. This would have literally been endless commissions. And I busted my butt off to go and, you know, identify the gatekeeper, bypass the gatekeeper, identify the influencer, identify the decision makers, and all those people. You know, get to an actual meeting. I get on the meeting. This is like 3 months worth of work, and I'm not getting paid for this. I get to the actual meeting and I botched the sales call completely.
How do you mean you botched the sales call? You got your perfect dream client. You somehow went through the hoops, probably got lucky, and you botched it. What happened?
Yeah, so it was two founders, and you know they're partners, and there's a nice partner, and then there's a little more direct partner. And
Sure.
the guy that was more direct, he immediately comes out, I'm busy. What's your price? And he starts like pressuring me because he won't let me go on to the next stage until I show him a price. And I'm like, hey, I don't know. We haven't got into specifics. I can give you a range. He was like, what do you mean a range? You haven't researched our company? And he was like, being really,
Yeah.
He's type A.
Being like most business owners are.
And so I take him to one of my general pricing sheets that has, it could be from here to here, entry level to this is our Toyota, this is our Ferrari. I don't know what's appropriate. And he's like, what? You're already pitching me price? And I was like, dude, you just asked me for price. And the whole thing blew up. The guy logged off and his partner was like, yeah, we're gonna have to reschedule. And I'm like, dude.
Okay. So you lost the deal. Had you had the skills you have now, would you have made that sale?
Yes. They would have been a lifelong customer.
Why do you feel like you would have? Because that was 60 days ago.
Because I now understand how to disarm people.
Yeah.
How to bypass that one little thing is show me the price. I now know one little trick just to like bypass. It's so simple, but I wasn't doing it. And I wouldn't have got caught there. I also probably would have gave him a little slap on the hand in a professional way that you guys teach us. And I've really perfected through not only your training, but Marco's trainings, Matt's trainings.
How much commission would you have made on that deal?
$500,000.
Okay.
Over the year, over the course of this year, $500,000.
So you would have made $500,000 commission had you had the skills you have now.
Yes.
That's a pretty expensive lack of knowledge. Okay.
Yep.
So what triggered you? You lost the sale. What was your next move after that?
I literally got off the call and I was like, I got to call Jeremy. So I go to the Facebook group. I'm trying to figure out where to go. I look at the Facebook banner and it's like, book a call right now. I go in there, I book a call. And then I met with Chris and then he started doing some ninja stuff on me, man. I was like, man, this is the best.
What do you mean by ninja stuff? Tell me what you mean.
It was so different than the way I was taught, the way that I was approaching, and even how the little nuggets that you get, it was like that you give out on your Facebook group. It was like a little bit deeper than that. And I was really contemplating my life, my professional life in a great way. And it left me with this tension, but it wasn't sales pressure. It was a tension for me to change my life, to change my reality. And I was like, how did he do that?
Do you want me to tell you how he did that?
Yes.
So it's called internal tension. So it's completely different than sales pressure, because sales pressure triggers what?
Resistance.
And the prospect starts to shut down. Internal tension triggers what in you, the prospect?
Like reflectiveness, contemplativeness.
Hold on. So it triggers you to think about what?
Me, my goals, my outcomes.
Yeah. And what does that trigger in your mind that you have to do?
I got to do something. There's a gap.
Yeah. It triggers urgency. It helps you see where you're at right now. And that probably helped you see where you're at in your commissions compared to where you could be. And what did he help you find out? What was your gap? What were you saying or not asking that was triggering you to lose all these sales that, like our clients who sell exactly what you are, make every day?
He was putting it back on me. I was selling myself the whole time. He put me in a box. And if I said something that was a cop out, he would be like, he would slap my hand in a professional way and make me realize the consequences of that.
So you probably realized by the end of the call that if you didn't move forward in the training, it had really no impact on us. It would only impact who?
Me.
Yeah. See the difference?
Yeah, I felt it.
Okay. That triggers change. So you got into the advanced inner circle. Walk us through a little bit, because let's give everybody here some nuggets that you're starting to walk away and learn. So when you got into NEPQ, like you started going to the inner circle, you started going through the portal, you started getting on the group training with the trainers, those type of things. Give us like the top maybe 3 things. Let's talk about the top 3 things that you're still learning probably right now, and what type of results you're getting from that.
The biggest thing that's making a huge difference is really really approaching it at a fundamental level, like I'm their doctor and they're my patient, and I'm there to serve them. I'm there to help them. I'm not there to sell them. And I want them to feel like I'm really diagnosing them
Now
by
that's a
asking
little.
sales
Now I
questions.
want to make sure everybody understands. This does not mean you're giving free consulting, because
No.
free consulting does not help the prospect change their situation, right? So you're diagnosing, but you're doing it now. When we say diagnosing, it doesn't mean just because you walk on there and you want to ask a bunch of questions that the prospects can be like, oh, well, let me tell you all the answers, right? How do we teach you how to get them to open up and disarm? Just give us an example.
Yeah, so because I sell outsourcing, a lot of times the people that we work with, they're wearing multiple hats. I hear most of my clients say, "Yeah, I'm wearing multiple hats." I say, "Well, hold on. What is that doing for you?" And then they're like, "Oh, well, I can't. I'm not able to work on this marketing thing, or I'm working late. I can't see my kids. My wife is going to divorce me. This and that." And they're like selling themselves on why they actually need this, which I then use later on in the presentation.
So before you were asking surface level questions, but now we're teaching how to go much deeper than that, below the surface, because a sale made on the surface, or is it made below the surface?
It's made way below the surface.
Yeah, because the average salesperson can pretty much find out a prospect has a problem. Good salespeople can find out they have a problem and the root cause of the problem. The very greatest of salespeople, our clients that are in everybody's industry watching here, are able to find out what their real problems are and help the prospect find them, help them find out and see what the root cause is, but more importantly, help them feel how those problems are affecting them even personally. And you said something really interesting there. You're talking to business owners of companies, and now they're talking about how not having what you're offering, not having the right key employees, is even affecting them personally, where they can't even see their kids. Now, once you started to learn that, how did your prospects start to treat you and react to you compared to how they would treat you before?
They saw me as somebody who could actually help them change their life. I was instant authority. I had higher status versus before, I'm just some sales guy trying to sell them something.
So when we come into each conversation, everybody has to understand this. When we come to each conversation, doesn't matter if you sell B2B, B2C, it's all the same. Any industry, it's all the same. We come in with an equal status, or usually we're kind of down below here because they know it's a sales call, whether it's outbound or inbound. Now, what we have to do through the course of the calls, we have to start asking the right questions with the right tonality and delivery that trigger the prospect to let their guard down, to disarm the prospect. And we start to move up when we're able to do that, which we teach in our virtual training courses and trainings. We're able to raise our status in their mind. So when we raise our status in their mind, they start to view us differently than everybody else who's trying to sell them. They start to view us, like Frank said, as more of the authority, more of the expert who's going to get them where they want to go. Now, what do most sales, before you learn NEPQ, where was your status going usually in those calls?
Down, save me, please like me.
Yeah. You were needy. You were asking surface level questions. What's keeping you awake at night? Tell me 2 problems you have. Just boring consultative questions that do not work. They've been around for 50 years. Everybody's heard them. Okay. And triggering lots of what? Sales resistance, which lowers our status. Then, like you said, they just throw you over here in the corner and they just view you like any other salesperson who's trying to stuff their solution down their throat. And that's when you have to start doing what? Chasing them, following up, begging.
Sending letters.
Now, what are your prospects doing with you now? Instead of you having to chase them, what are they doing?
Jeremy, I literally had a client send me an email with the subject line that says executive assistant, all caps, and it said, "I need one. When can we meet?"
Yeah, Exactly. Now he's chasing you. But that's because the questions because you're learning, and you're still learning, by the way. Because I remember we just had the call reviews in the advanced inner circle with that group, and you had a call review in there with like 60 or 70 other people in there. And what happened?
I got beat up in a great way. Jeremy took the gloves off and he mopped the floor with me, but he built me back up and gave me the skills to never have those kinds of problems again. And there's a replay. So tomorrow I'm probably going to watch that replay, 4 or 5 times and then incorporate that until I just learn it and then put on the next level.
Yeah, you did some good things, but there was also some things that you were like triggering resistance and could have went the other way if he had been a much harder type of sale, right?
Yeah.
All right, so walk us through this as well. So you've learned how to disarm the prospects. They're starting to become more open. They're starting to engage. What's one good? Let's just give them a few nuggets here beforehand. What's a good consequence question that you've learned how to ask that really challenges the prospect to think about the consequences of if they don't do anything?
Yeah. So most people reach out to us because they're at some kind of bottleneck or they're beyond, their head in whatever they're doing. And so the consequence question that has the most impact for us over in our organization is, how long has it been happening? And then once they tell us and say, and what is that doing for your business? And then the kicker one that really gets them to think, it's like I see them change completely, body language, everything. I feel that status start to rise is what happens if you don't do anything about this and just kick this down the road for the next 6 months?
So, and it's a tonality. I know you don't say it like that, but okay, but help me understand, like what happens if you don't do anything about this and you just keep pushing it down the road like most unsuccessful business owners would? What happens then? Now, how does that change? What happens in their mind?
They think about the actual result and they'll actually sell themselves on why that's not the route they want to go. And they'll speak it out loud. It also puts them in a corner, in an ethical corner. It's not like I'm, manipulating them. It's the truth. It's their truth. And they know their business better than I. And it gets them to see like, okay, if I don't do anything now, this is what's going to happen. So it increases that urgency. I also get them tell me nobody's ever asked me that before. And so when I hear that, I feel the status start to rise. And I also see.
Let's talk about that. When a prospect says, nobody's ever asked me that before, why is that so important?
Because they feel like you care, man.
Well, they feel like you're a knowledgeable expert because there ain't no other salespeople asking them questions like that. Mm-hmm. All those other salespeople are just pesky salespeople trying to sell them something. They don't view you as a salesperson. See, when you get really, really good at selling everybody, when you learn an EPQ, people don't feel that you're even selling to them. I want to repeat that. When you learn what we train you as a client in our virtual training courses and our group training, you're going to get to a point where people don't feel that you're a salesperson. Do you want people to feel like you're a salesperson trying to sell them something?
No.
Okay. All right. So I got to go. I know you got to go too. I'm going to go get a haircut real quick. Then I've got a podcast. What's your biggest advice you'd give to like maybe a new salesperson just getting into sales, or maybe even a vet who's already doing halfway decent? What's your words of advice you'd give to them before we get off?
Yeah, the best thing you can do for your sales career and your commissions, your income, is to speak with Jeremy's team and just really get into that, because the way that they approach stuff, everybody who's out there right now, they're teaching you stuff that worked in the early 2000s, maybe even the teens or in the 2020s. And it's just a totally different way of communication. And it's just a game changer. So that Jeremy's not paying me to do this. In fact, I'm paying Jeremy the most I've ever felt comfortable investing in something, and it's already paid off within its first 2 months. So, I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think you just made a 10K commission today.
10K straight cash, man. Thanks, Jeremy.
You're welcome. Would you have made that sale without what you're learning in the Advanced Inner Circle, the 10K commission today?
20% possibility. If it was a good day, the stars aligned, my grandma and mom prayed, maybe.
If the asteroids aligned and the moon was in the right place, you might have made the sale. But now you can control the outcome. Mm-hmm. That's the difference. You don't have to pray to the asteroids. Okay, good. I'm just joking. Obviously, praying to God is important. But here's one thing that my bishop of my church always taught me. And a good friend of mine, Andy Andrews, says in his book, God feeds the birds, but he doesn't drop worms in their nest. God feeds the birds, but he doesn't drop worms in their nest. You can pray to him to make sales, but he's just not going to give you sales without you doing something and learning the right skills. Think about that. All right. Thanks, Frank, for being on. Now, hey, guys and gals, you want to start learning the skills that Frank is using to dominate his industry now, even in the first 60 days. If you want to become like our clients who are in the same industry that you are in right now, watching me, we train 158 industries. Guess how many industries there are in the world? According to Forbes magazine, there are 158. There are subsets of those, and we're in all of those. Okay, there's a reason why Inc. magazine, you probably can't see the award, but it's behind me, but Inc. magazine, Inc. 5000 listed us last year, the #1 fastest growing sales training company in that category, fastest growing sales training company in the United States of America. We believe we're actually going to win it again this year, okay, with our revenues, all right? There's a reason for that. There's a reason why we have over 7,000 plus testimonials in the last 2 years from people who are in the same industries you are in right now watching us. Those are unsolicited. We do not ask. Did I reach out to you, Frank, and say, hey, go post a testimony? I didn't know you made a 10K commission. It's very nice of you to do that. But there's a reason why people are getting results. There's a reason why people in your industry that you're watching me right now are doubling your commissions. They're tripling, they're quadrupling what you are making now, selling the exact same thing that you are doing now. So if you want to be like those people, because you're going to work the same amount of hours, you're going to talk to the same amount of prospects. So why not convert double to triple of them? Because after all, if they don't purchase, whose fault is it? Yours or theirs? It's yours. It's how you're communicating that's causing them to run away. So if you want to start learning those type of skills, you want to start making 10 grand a month in commissions in your industry. I don't care if you sell insurance, real estate, cars, bicycles, cell phones, outsourcing, SaaS, medical device, pharmaceuticals. I mean, literally everything, which home improvement, whatever it is, we train every industry. You start making 10 grand a month consistent every month. What you sell 15 grand a month, 20 grand a month, maybe 25 or 30, 40,000 plus, maybe even more in your industry, then just message me directly right after this. If you're in the Facebook group, message me directly right now. Either myself or someone on my team that will say, hey, I'm with Jeremy Miner, 7-level team, will message you back. If you're on LinkedIn, message me directly right now. Either myself or somebody on my team. We got tons of people on the team now. Too many to count. They'll message you back directly with some different training options that you can go through, just like they did with Frank, if you want to get those type of results. Now, if you can't figure out how to message me, just in the comments section with whatever platform you're on, post hashtag NEPQ. Post hashtag NEPQ and we'll message you back. And if you're not in the Facebook group, make sure you join that. Just go to sales. I'm going to have somebody somebody post that. Just go to www.salesrevolution.pro. So if you're not in the Facebook group, because that's pretty much where we go live most of the time, go to salesrevolution.pro, salesrevolution.pro. Right when you join, either somebody on my team will message you back a free training called the NEPQ 101 mini course. And we go live in the Facebook group about 3 to 4 times a week with different trainings, different Q&As, different client breakdowns. Frank, I know you got to go to bed. Aren't you over in Europe or something right now?
Yeah, I'm in Prague in the Czech Republic. I stay up every night on Monday through Thursday until about 1 or 2 a.m., sometimes 3, just to make sure I make my classes and commit to my training because it's worth it that much to me. Is it worth it to make that much money? Help that much money? If you put 10 grand in my pocket every day, heck yeah.
Okay. You're welcome, son. All right, everybody. Thanks, everybody. Now, we will not have a Q&A. Normally on Thursdays, we have a live Q&A at 6 p.m. Eastern where I answer your questions. I will be on a plane because I have a client training in Dallas, Texas on Friday that I have to be there for with their group. So we will not have the scheduled Q&A tomorrow. I will be back next week to go live in the Facebook group. Thanks very much, Frank. Thanks, everybody, for being here today. Thank you.